While no handgun can truly last forever, certain models have earned reputations for enduring over decades of use and remaining operational under tough conditions. These handguns are designed with quality materials and engineering that allows them to stand the test of time, maintaining their performance with proper maintenance and care. What sets them apart isn't just steel and polymer, it's a legacy of dependability. Others represent the pinnacle of modern engineering, built with advanced materials and manufacturing techniques, but all share one thing in common: they're built to last forever. These are the handguns you can pass down through generations, the kind you can trust your life with when things go sideways. I'm going to show you a few handguns that have the tendency to last a very long time, especially with proper maintenance. If you don't have one of these, you already know what to do. Revolvers have always had a special place in the world of firearms. There's something undeniably timeless about a wheel gun: simple, reliable, and incredibly durable. Among the pantheon of revolvers, the Ruger GP100 stands as a titan. Ruger didn't just make a good revolver, they crafted a legend. Built to withstand years of punishment, high-powered loads, and countless rounds, the GP100 is the revolver that will always rise to the occasion. Now, that heft might be a bit too much for some, but if you've ever held a revolver that feels cheap or flimsy, you'll appreciate the mass of the GP100. It's reassuring, balanced, and gives you that feeling of confidence when it's in your hand. That weight works in your favor when you're firing heavy loads. And now about the price. The GP100 sits comfortably around the $700 to $900 mark, depending on the barrel length and any additional features or configurations you choose. If you've ever been in a conversation about revolvers and haven't heard of the Smith & Wesson Model 686, you're missing out. This revolver is an icon not just because of its reliability, but because of its legacy. Built with the durability to handle everything from everyday defense to full-on competition shooting, the 686 has been a staple in law enforcement, competitive circles, and among passionate revolver enthusiasts for decades. The Model 686, in all its stainless steel glory, is one of those guns that feel like it was made to withstand the ages. Whether you're squeezing off a few rounds for fun or using it as a primary home defense weapon, this revolver doesn't just perform, it excels. But versatility doesn't stop with ammo choice, it also extends to its usage. Let's talk price. The Model 686 comes in at around $800 to $1,000 depending on barrel length and configuration. If you're the type of shooter who appreciates craftsmanship, the 686 is a revolver that belongs in your collection. The Canik TP9 SFX stands out as a competitively priced pistol that doesn't compromise on essential features. It boasts a sleek and modern design characterized by its tungsten-colored slide with intricate serrations and lightning cuts. These design elements not only enhance its visual appeal, but also contribute to its functionality by reducing the slide's weight, thereby improving recoil management. The pistol's frame features a black finish, complemented by metallic steel-colored backstraps and magazine base plates, creating a striking contrast that adds to its aesthetic charm. The pistol typically retails between $500 and $600. Its thoughtful design, reliable performance, and ergonomic considerations make it a solid choice for both novice and seasoned shooters. There's something deeply satisfying about shooting a 1911 that just feels right, and the Ruger SR 1911 delivers that in spades. This isn't some knockoff or souped-up gimmick version of the classic John Browning design. It's an American-made, full-steel 1911 built with respect for the old-school platform, but sprinkled with enough modern flair to keep it in the conversation for today's shooters. Whether you're a seasoned 1911 fanatic or just dipping your toes into the 45 ACP world, the SR 1911 is one of those pistols that commands attention and earns its respect the moment you chamber around. From the jump, what really separates the Ruger SR 1911 from the crowd is how solid it really feels. The price is one of the SR 1911's strongest points. You can find it for around $850 to $950 depending on the model and the finish. For a forged American-made 1911 with high-end build quality, that's a killer deal. If you want a gun that'll last you forever and never go out of style, this one belongs in your safe and on your hip. If the term built like a tank ever applied to a handgun, it's gotta be the Heckler Koch USP. There's a reason this pistol became a favorite of elite military units, law enforcement agencies, and serious civilian shooters across the globe. The USP, which is short for Universal Self-Loading Pistol, was introduced in the early 90s during a time when most handgun designs were chasing polymer weight savings and high-capacity trends. But H&K took a different path. They built something overbuilt, something you could run through mud, drop from a helicopter, and still depend on it when everything else fails. Price-wise, the full-sized H&K USP usually runs between $950 to $1,200. The USP isn't flashy and it doesn't care about trends. It's the kind of handgun that just shows up, does the job, and dares you to try and wear it out. It's almost impossible to talk about handguns that'll last forever without giving the Glock 17 and 19 their due credit. Whether you're a battle-hardened soldier, a law enforcement officer, or just someone who appreciates practical, reliable hardware, these two Glocks have probably crossed your radar, and for good reason. They're not flashy, they're not exotic, but they've quietly become the gold standard of unbreakable performance and everyday dependability for decades. The Glock 19 is the slightly shorter, more compact sibling of the 17. Same core design, same reliability, just a little easier to carry. In terms of price, Glocks have always been affordable for what they deliver. A new G17 or G19 usually runs between $500 and $600 depending on the generation and configuration. The Colt 1911 isn't just an old-school pistol, it's the godfather of modern handguns. This gun has seen action in 2 world wars, Korea, Vietnam, Iraq, and everywhere in between, and it's still kicking, still respected, still carried, and still shooting circles around some of the newer plastic pistols out there. You don't earn that kind of longevity by accident. If you're looking for a gun that you can shoot weekly, carry when needed, and hand down to your kids, this is the one. There's a reason the 1911 hasn't gone out of style in over 100 years. It works, it lasts, and it earns its reputation every time you pull that trigger. Price-wise, a Colt 1911 can be found new anywhere from $800 to $1,200 depending on the model and finish. You can go higher with custom builds or find basic GI style models for less, but the standard Colt offering hits a sweet spot of performance, reliability, and legacy. When Beretta won the US military contract in the mid-1980s, replacing the legendary 1911, a whole new chapter began. The N9, which is a military designation of the 92 FS, went on to serve in every major US conflict for over 30 years. That's not just a pistol, that's a piece of living history, and it's still very much in the fight. Pick one up today, and it doesn't feel outdated. This isn't a striker-fired workhorse like a Glock 17. This is a DASA classic where the first trigger pull is long, deliberate, and safe, and every follow-up is like glass snapping under pressure. That deconker safety mounted on the slide? Yeah, it's a love it or hate it feature, but for those trained to use it right, it becomes second nature. You decock, you holster, and you don't worry. It's simple, it's safe, and it works. The open slide design, it's instantly recognizable, but more importantly, it's a genius move in terms of reliability. And then there's the barrel. Its locking block design reduces recoil impulse and allows the barrel to return to battery faster. Now, if you're looking for a concealed carry piece, this probably isn't your first choice. Few guns point as naturally, few are as forgiving to shoot. That long sight radius and soft recoil make you look like a better shooter than you are, and that's the kind of gun you want in a fight. Going up to $750 in price, they both share same specs, same reliability, and same heritage. Decades later, the CZ75's reputation hasn't changed. In fact, it's only grown stronger among serious shooters and collectors who know quality when they see it. If you're looking for a sidearm that's rugged, reliable, and ready to go another 50 years, the CZ75 deserves your attention. It's not just a classic, it's a living legend that's still earning its stripes in ranges and in holsters across the world. A standard CZ75B runs about $650 to $750 depending on finish and market. And if you want to get fancy, CZ offers competition-ready models like the CZ75 SP01, Shadow 2, and even custom shop variants that are as sleek as anything from Nighthawk to Wilson Combat. If there's one pistol that's earned its stripes in the shadows and still walks among the living with its head held high, it's the Sig Sauer P226. It's a purebred combat pistol forged in precision, tested in real-world chaos, and respected by professionals across the globe. It's the kind of gun that doesn't have to shout to prove itself. It just shows up, does the job, and dares you to wear it down. The first thing you notice is the weight. It's all metal aluminum alloy frame with a stainless steel slide riding rails like it was meant to be there. This gun doesn't rattle and it doesn't creak. It locks in, the fit is so tight it feels custom right out of the box. It soaks up recoil like a sponge and gives you ridiculous control shot after shot. Follow-ups feel natural, almost automatic. This is a pistol built to stay flat, shoot straight, and last forever. In terms of price, the gun sits around $1,100 to $1,400 depending on the model. Let's get something straight from the jump. The CZ Shadow 2 doesn't just play in the world of forever guns, it rewrites the rulebooks. It's not built to sit pretty in a safe. It's built to eat thousands upon thousands of rounds, match after match, year after year, without skipping a beat. This isn't your average combat pistol. It's the kind of gun you pick up when you've already burned through a few Glocks and want something that feels like it was chiseled from a solid block of dedication. Slide it out of the box, and everything about it screams precision. The steel frame gives it weight, but not in a clumsy way it plants it. At around $1,200 to $1,400 for the full size and $1,000 plus for the compact variant, it's quite a commitment. It's an investment in performance, but it's one of those rare cases where the money actually makes sense. You get every dollar back in the way it shoots, in how long it lasts, in the way your confidence spikes just after a few range sessions. Alright you guys, that's it for this video. Make sure you're subscribed and click a thumbnail to dive right back into more fascinating firearms content from us. Thanks a lot for watching, and see you in the next one.